So, yeah, last time I spoke to you, I was still studying nutrition. I was on my way to become a nutritionist and a fitness coach. I was doing two courses at once because I really deeply wanted to understand the science behind weight loss, fat loss, various lifestyle diseases that happen due to excess weight. And I also wanted to understand the way that developed countries prescribe nutrition guidelines to their public in interest of the public health. And I found stark differences in the recommendations, not in terms of the technical knowledge, like nutrition is the same, vitamins are the same, they play the same role in your body, fat, protein, carbs, these macronutrients are all the same. But how you apply that knowledge, how you apply that to your lifestyle, it becomes a bigger question when you migrate to a country from India. And because we are used to such cheap labor, we are used to a form of matriarchy. Sorry, we are used to a form of patriarchy and misogyny where our mothers, our sisters, our wives are treated as free labor. They don't charge anything from you. That's why it is so convenient for an Indian man to say, I won't eat raat ka khana, I want fresh food. Imagine if he has to pay to that woman every time she cooks food for him. He will think twice. Maybe he wants to save money. And people who are rich have already got that help in their houses. They are spending money. Whereas in developed countries, immigrants who have come here for a future, mostly materialistic, they want a house, they want their kids to study in good schools, they're sending them to Kumon, maths tuitions, they still want their child to become an engineer or a doctor. Somewhere at the back of their mind, they still want their children to do good in the uni. They are confused. They have wishfully adopted the culture conveniently, whatever they could, whatever brings them happiness. They are very selective about adopting to the Western culture when it comes to actually living the life that the natives live. They cannot do that. Indian woman herself cannot bring herself to cook and freeze food. How difficult is that for an Indian woman? I have spoken to women who have guilty feeling about not cooking fresh food for their family. Like, oh, I am home once a week or twice a week for the dinner time, and my family deserves to eat hot and nice food. And it's me who has to cook. That's the thought that needs to change. Why can't the man cook for himself? Why can't whole family collaborate and prepare a dinner, prepare a meal? Why can't your kids be a part of the decision in what to eat tonight? Why do you have to think about it all by yourself? You don't. That's where the basic problem lies. We put too much pressure on the women. Men are also under a lot of pressure. They are planning finances, they're planning their next car, they're planning their next house. But who's planning the next dinner? It's the woman of the house. Who will do all this? Who will go for grocery shopping? Who decides what sabzi will be cooked at home? It's the woman of the house. And sometimes she doesn't want to decide all of that. And that's where the mindset of I can't cook and I don't have time comes in, because she has to do it all by herself. That said, this mentality will take a very long time to change. There are changes happening. I see it in my house. I see it with me and my partner. We have equal labor when it comes to house chores, especially when cooking. I cook one main meal and rest of the meals are equally cooked by everyone. He cooks his own breakfast, I cook mine. He cooks his own lunch, I cook mine. If I'm cooking the dinner, he is with me in the kitchen preparing everything. He does the dishes, he does the cleaning. So I'm not the only one who's cooking and cleaning. I want to set this very straight. If you have not even tried, if you have just accepted that you are the only one bearing the burden of feeding the family, you have to start a conversation. At least start a conversation. Then make this very clear to your family that if it is your duty, it has to be a certain way. You are not going to cook every day. You are not going to cook fresh meals every day from scratch. And you are not going to do the way it used to be done in India, because you don't have the sort of support system. Make use of frozen meals, frozen packaged food, pre-cooked food, batch cooking, and meal prepping. There are enough convenient food options in the markets. You can utilize them. You just have to be more intentional with your choices when it comes to health. Instead of having a paratha with lots of butter that you add on top, that haldiram paratha, you can have a roti. You can have a wrap that does not have that much oil. Instead of full fat paneer, you can use, say, cottage cheese for your sandwiches and wraps. If there is nothing else to cook, you can have bread and omelette at night. And you can also convince your family to have it. It's not difficult. They will have it if it's ready and if you convince them that this is the right meal to have. It all starts with your mindset. You've come home from work, there is no time to cook. You order a dal makhani paratha, naan, butter chicken, dum aloo, everything together. You can also order a Subway. You can also order a salad. You can prepare bread and omelette. You can do some meal prepping and assemble things. There is pre-cooked sandwich meat, canned vegetables, canned lentils, pre-cooked rice, pre-cooked quinoa. There is bread at your disposal. You can use all of this. My mission with My Fitness Karma is to make sure that all Indian women are aware of these tools that they have at their disposal in a developed country. You don't have to cook from scratch, and you don't have to eat junk because you don't have time. There is a middle way that you can find. You just have to be more aware and more knowledgeable about how to navigate this. Try and talk to the natives how they prepare their food. They mostly do batch cooking. The whole family is involved in cooking. They freeze and use meals from the freezer and refrigerate it for at least 3 to 4 days. They don't do laborious cooking on the weekdays. They make simple protein based meals and have vegetables. Their carbs are limited to either pasta or potatoes. They don't make fresh rotis every day. They use appliances. They use Instapot, they use rice cookers, they use egg boilers, and so many other appliances that make their lives easier. I have done it myself, and I'm still discovering so many things that have made my life easy. And I am on a mission to make every Indian woman's life easy so that she can afford a healthy lifestyle without compromising on her social connections, on time with family, on her peace of mind. There are so many things that people think they have to sacrifice. First of all, it's not a punishment. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But if you are in it for a good reason, then be prepared to make some smarter choices that will lead to your own good. I hope I can make a difference. And if you need any help, I am ready now. I am coaching a few people and it's an amazing experience. I can't tell you how it feels when someone messages me about, oh my god, I can't believe the weighing scale. When someone messages me about doing a workout, smashing a workout, about how they have started to think about fitness and health and how easy it is to get into this lifestyle. When I see those changes, it feels surreal.